Normal looking photos that have a disturbing backstory. The girl in this photo was arrested for torturing and killing animals. She filmed herself doing it and even posted it online. She hanged her dogs by their collars, nailed them to walls, and even shot them with an airsoft gun. She would then cut them open and rip out their internal organs. This sweet looking little girl is Jeannie, also known as the Wild Child, who spent the first 13 years of her life chained to a chair, and this photo was taken moments after she'd just been rescued. This normal looking scenic painting features the ocean with the night sky. However, it was painted by Adolf Hitler, whose dream in life was to become an artist. However, he failed the entrance exam to art school and ultimately gave up. This photo of Richard Hickok and Perry Smith shows two murders after hearing that they'd been sentenced to death. They murdered a family of 4 and planned to rob them, but they found nothing worth stealing except for a mere $50. The girl on the left is wearing a wire. The girl on the right has no idea. Together they stabbed one of their friends to death, and the girl on the left confessed to the police and is now cooperating with them. Besides the pixelation, this looks like a couple getting married surrounded by their loved ones. However, all the children in this photo were horribly physically and mentally abused until a couple of them managed to escape.
Why you should never do this. This is 17-year-old Michael Dumas. He was on a church trip to Florida with some of his friends. While on this trip, they went to Pompano Beach, and he would be buried in the sand as you see here. He'd soon be unburied and all would be well until later that night when he would wake up in the middle of the night and be itching like crazy and sweating. At first, this would be labeled as an ear infection and he would be sent home with drops, but it would soon be obvious that that's not what it was, as he started to develop these raised, bumpy rashes. And he became pretty lethargic, just wanting to sleep all the time. It got even worse to the point where he was having these big, nasty blisters. And that's when he'd finally be diagnosed with cutaneous larva migrans, which is pretty much dog or cat hookworm. So pretty much these work by the dog or the cat pooping in the sand and contaminating it, and then not long after, these microscopic larvae hatch, and then you step in this contaminated sand and you end up looking like Michael. After all of this, he ended up developing a staph infection as well, and if it's not bad enough just him getting infected, 5 others from this trip got infected with hookworm as well.
This man was shot in the face in front of his daughter, and the video is absolutely horrible. The man that you see in the orange shirt's name is Bruno Jr., and he's 33 years old. And he suddenly lost his life after being shot in the face during a party in the early hours of Sunday on March 9th. The unfortunate incident happened in Brazil, and according to witnesses, Bruno was enjoying the celebration when he heard gunshots coming from the neighbor's house. And while trying to figure out what was happening, he climbed onto a gas cylinder stand to try and see over the wall, at which point he was fatally shot in the face. In the video, after Bruno is shot in the face, his body falls down to the ground in an extremely weird fashion. He falls backwards and almost hits his daughter, who you see right here. His lifeless body is then lying on the ground as blood pours from his head as his daughter freaks out screaming. The video is absolutely awful, and I really don't recommend watching it. Local authorities were then alerted by the neighbors and they quickly came to the scene. But despite efforts by first responders, Bruno was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. A search warrant was quickly obtained for the attacker's home, but he had already escaped. Searches were carried out on the vehicle, a red Fiat Toro, in which the attackers is presumed to have fled in. During the inspection, various firearms were found, including a shotgun modified for .22 caliber, a 12-gauge shotgun, and various ammunition. The man who killed Bruno also claimed this to be self-defense, which in my opinion, I don't see how it could have been self-defense. In the video, Bruno is literally just looking over the wall very cautiously, not doing any harm or threatening anybody. And immediately when he peeks over the wall, he gets shot in the head. Bruno Jr. did not deserve this at all, and may he rest in peace.
A 19-year-old girl was stabbed to death after refusing to give her drunken attacker her phone number. Samia Spain and twin sister, Sanya, were harassed at a deli in Brooklyn, New York after partying with their friends, with their attacker yelling, "I'm gonna stab y'all in the face." Samia tragically died from stab wounds to her chest and neck, while her sister Sanya was left hospitalized with wounds to her arms. Cops are on the hunt for Samia's killer after he fled the scene.
Her life was taken while on a FaceTime call with her friends. 18-year-old Kelly McRae, she was a beautician and a model, and she was from West Palm Beach in Florida. This is 19-year-old Keyshawn Shaw, who is her ex-boyfriend, and they were actually together for a year before Kelby broke up with him. Keyshawn could not accept the breakup, and he kept asking Kelby to get back together with him. Although they were broken up, Kelby still allowed Keyshawn to live in her home since he did not have anywhere to live. On March 5th of this year, police had responded to a call from Kelby because Keyshawn had strangled her, pointed a gun to her head, and briefly held her against her will. Kelby tried to escape in a car, and Keyshawn had threw himself onto the windshield and completely shattered it. He was charged with false imprisonment, aggravated assault, and battery. On the evening of March 6, around 9:40 p.m., police had responded to a 911 call reporting a shooting. Upon arrival, they had discovered Kelby with multiple gunshot wounds to her head, neck, and back while she was eating dinner and FaceTiming her friends. One of her friends was actually the one who witnessed the shooting, and they were the ones who immediately called emergency services. Keyshawn was found in the living room with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head. Kelby and Keyshawn were then transported to St. Mary's Medical Center. Kelby did pass away that night from her injuries, and Keyshawn was charged with first-degree murder that following morning, but in the afternoon he did pass away. Kelby will be remembered as an intelligent individual with a zest for life.
Have you guys heard of the Night Lady? This all started in Chihuahua, Mexico, 2009. Residents started noticing something really disturbing. You see, now some of the children in the area were going missing. I gotta grab some food for this one. Look at this beautiful roll. Now with all the children around the area going missing, people started reporting seeing a woman. They said she would climb on the rooftops during the day, only to wait till night to sneak in through the window to snatch children. Police then sketched an image of what they believed to be the Night Lady. Only one child has been reported of actually escaping the Night Lady. You see, his parents had ran into the room and caught her just in time. She quickly then escaped and crawled out of the window. Wait, before I continue, let's say the Night Lady had taken you. Your third act has to come and save you. Who is it? Let me know who it is. Anyways, the kid that got away recounted waking up in the middle of the night and seeing the Night Lady standing over top of him just watching him. People have brushed this off as just one big hoax until after midnight, a teenage girl had captured this photo. This is supposedly the Night Lady.
Alright, so that video is definitely edited, like CGI or whatever, but it's part of a really big problem that I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about. Fake animal rescues. It's exactly what it sounds like. Basically, they'll take these animals and put them in these really that's right, TikTok doesn't let me curse, but they'll put them in these really messed up, dangerous situations and then rescue them. But they never seem to miss a chance to record every second of it. I'm not going to show the actual video because honestly, I don't want to give them the clout. But I literally watched a video where they rescued a dog that was stuck in a pit of rubber tar. Like to the point where half its body was stuck there and it couldn't move. Total BS. But the part that gets me heated is that, you know, the video sharing app YT, you know, like Me Too, but instead of me, it's, you know, you not only do they keep these videos up, they encourage it. Those videos actually get monetized. You can literally think the wrong word and get age restricted on there. But like these channels, they get millions of views. They get ads on their videos. They literally get paid to torture these animals. I'm willing to bet a lot of these videos are happening in countries that have a problem with a lot of stray dogs. So it's like they'll take a dog off the street and use it for content because, you know, no one's going to miss it, right? Matter of fact, I've even seen some channels use the same dogs in different videos. And like, it's easy to fall for. I've fallen for a lot too, but think about it like this. Even if this wasn't edited, which it probably is, what are the odds that that man was able to save that dog like right before the train came by and that the cameraman was in the perfect position to capture it all? Either one of the three. Either one, it's CGI. Two, that's the luckiest damn dog I've ever seen. Or three, staged. It just makes me sick because, like, you know, I can't do anything about it. The videos keep getting views, millions at that. You know, the people keep making money, and the dogs being rescued are really just in hell. Sick stuff, man.
The officer said we found Ziploc bags, each one with a girl's name on it, and each Ziploc bag had some kind of token in it. And she said the reason I'm calling is we found a Ziploc bag with Brandy's name on it.
The documentary exposing the abuse that kids suffered while working on Nickelodeon shows in the 90s and early 2000s came out, and honestly, it is worse than I expected. The first 2 episodes came out last night, and I want to focus on what they have to say about this guy, Jason Handy. So Jason was a 28-year-old PA on The Amanda Show. His job on set was to take the kids from their parents, tell the parents to stay behind, and then bring the kids to set. So he got to have a pretty close relationship with all of the kids on the show. And everyone thought he was really nice, so no one really batted an eyelash when he would give his email address to young actresses, like as young as 7 years old. One of those girls was an 11-year-old named Brandy. Brandy's mom said that after The Amanda Show, Jason would email Brandy, and at first it kind of seemed like they had this cute pen-pal relationship. But all of that changed one day when Jason sent Brandy an inappropriate photo of himself and said that he was thinking about her. This eventually leads to an investigation, and what they find at Jason's apartment is shocking. He has all of these plastic bags with names of girls as young as 7, and each one has a sort of token inside of them. There were also things in the apartment that I honestly can't talk about here, but it was shocking because Jason was allowed to work with children for years. And if you're wondering what happened to him, he did go to jail for it, but he was eventually released within 6 years and went on to commit more crimes and got arrested again in 2014. Only half of the episodes have come out so far, but there's already been so many devastating bombshells. But some people are watching this and they're not even surprised. They're like, of course that was happening. But what do you think? Have you seen it?
Mom, can you just pass my drink that's on the table, please? Thanks.
You're not gonna convince me this isn't a social experiment by nature to see how much f***ery they could get away with shoehorning into one animal. Platypus are built like a middle finger to the natural order. I'm not even finna waste time with what you already know. It's a duck cosplaying beaver with web feet that lays eggs as a mammal. They also produce milk, but since they're a mammal with no mammaries, instead they sweat it. So if you're a pug level platypus, you gotta get calories from mommy's arm crotch. Armpit. That sounded... I don't even know why I said that. My bad. They have no teeth. Instead, they use rocks as DIY dentures. They have no stomach. It goes straight down their gullet. Speaking of food, platypus swim blind and deaf, so they hunt using electroreceptors. Let it be known, they stole the shark's whole flow. Don't worry, it gets weirder. They have a 3-in-1 hole, literally one hole that serves every purpose, and apparently that was so fascinating that folks named their entire family reunion after it. Don't know what I mean? Well, after watching this, go and Google monitoring. Males have a venomous spur containing a toxin more powerful than morphine, as in if you get faded by a fedora warrior, you're basically cooked for months until the pain wears off, and yeah, it can take months. Their build nearly gave scientists a brain hemorrhage because the first ones to see it thought it was a hoax and that people stitched random animal parts together as a practical joke. Little did they know. Platypus have a 2-headed DNA hose covered in spines. Don't look it up. I did. I regret it. In late 2020, we found out this beaver-tailed identity crisis is bioluminescent. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Dan Povenmire came up with the idea for Perry in 1994, so either he or nature itself is memeing on us. Now I'm leaning towards Dan because you know what a platypus sounds like? And apparently we're supposed to believe that was a lucky guess too. With a track record like that, I wouldn't be surprised if he worked on The Simpsons. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but they're way smaller than I thought they were as a kid. Also, the babies are called Puggles, the more you know.
3 cheers to NASA as they have found alcohol in space. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has discovered chemical components that you might find in your favorite drinks, like a margarita. While planets are not yet formed around these protostars, the ethanol and vinegar components are a positive sign for habitable worlds, and possibly a couple of cocktails along the way.
I hate you. 20 years is nothing. It's not enough. In all honesty, I don't think my mother's life is worth 20 years. And I have to learn to live without my mom. I have to graduate next year. I have to go through all life steps without a mom. And I really did not have a father. So the fact that you took away my one and only love, you should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed. My mom would walk in the room and everyone's demeanor would change. She could make you laugh. She could make you cry. She was the funniest person. And what you did to my cousin wasn't right. The type of person that she was very loving and caring. She was always there for me. She's never going to be able to see my little cousin grow up. You have 2 daughters who have a mom. She's not going to be able to see her mom anymore. You went on the run, you didn't care, you're a selfish person, you're careless for your actions that you did. 20 years is not enough time. It should have been you instead.
What's the first thing that you think when looking at these pictures? For anybody who has childhood memories of Televisa and Channel 5, this was part of a nightly broadcast as a PSA to show missing people throughout the late 90s. But this is the photo that caught everyone's attention, Seline Delgado. Audiences noticed there was something kind of off about her. The photo wasn't like the others. It was grainy, it was black and white, and there was seemingly almost no information on her. An inquiry into the public files of Mexico City found that there was no record of a missing woman who was named Seline Delgado. So why was Channel 5 running an image of a woman who wasn't missing? Sleuths Online did a composite cross comparison where her image was uploaded to a 3D modeling program and proven that it was an amalgamation of other images and that she wasn't a real person. But why? Things remained pretty quiet until that of late 2019 when Channel 5 began posting strange content without explanation. Every night around 3 a.m. there were a series of disturbing video clips that were posted to their public-facing Twitter account and then immediately deleted. But there was one video in particular that reignited the eerie feelings around Delgado. This video, entitled Seline. In it can be seen a distorted compilation of clips around an unknown woman, and then it was deleted immediately after posting. But truthfully, from a rational perspective, I could chalk this story up to any number of explanations. It could be hoaxes, it could be hackings, it could even be marketing. But the really strange part to me is why they would intentionally choose to show an image of a woman who didn't exist, and do so quietly for so many years.
Alright, my daughter's room is up there, and we keep seeing some... Alright, put your flashlight up. Alright, flash it up there. Oh, now it's gone. Put your flashlight down. Let's see if it'll do it again. Alright, put it up, hurry. Oh.
It appears that each time the light isn't on the window, the blinds move on their own. But if you look closely, you'll see that no fingers can be seen opening the blinds, let alone a figure.
It feels like a hot tub. Caught on camera, that's a man taking a bath, but that's a kitchen sink at a Wendy's. Yep.
Now, obviously, that is disgusting, so let's get that first thing out of the way first, what we're all thinking. Secondly, everyone there just lost their jobs. Everyone on that shift literally got fired. This happened about 4 years ago at a Wendy's, as the title suggests in the news. A similar thing happened with Burger King even further back, like decades ago. A lot of the community's outraged, obviously. Wendy's was in hot water for this. This is the statement they released. This is egregious behavior. It is completely unacceptable. All employees in the video were terminated immediately, and the restaurant has been completely sanitized. The health department visited the restaurant today and no violations were reported. So at least that's good. At least they're making amends to the situation. I know this happened 4 years ago, but still. This isn't necessarily Wendy's fault. It's just that specific Wendy's and that specific group of employees. It's their fault. And honestly, I don't know why they would post that on TikTok. That's crazy. That's how they got outed. It was posted on TikTok. I guess 2020 really fried everybody, because holy crap. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. And as always, these videos are for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Breaking news, they have now released body cam footage of a police officer interacting with Riley Strand just before he disappeared. Authorities said the interaction took place on Gay Street, just south of the Woodland Street Bridge, and that, quote, Riley did not appear distressed. They said the officer was there for about 45 minutes. Here's the full body cam footage. Take a look.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's over here on Gay Street, near First Avenue.
To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Here's 5 celebrities you didn't know killed somebody and what exactly went down.
The last two are particularly weird and creepy.
Tennis superstar Venus Williams got into a car accident in June 2017, which left one man dead. Williams was driving in Palm Beach, Florida, when she rushed into an intersection despite not having the right of way, and she was T-boned by the car. The car's driver survived, but her husband, 78-year-old man, was sent to the ICU, where he died 2 weeks later. Alec Baldwin discharged a prop gun that led to the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of his movie Rust in New Mexico on October 21, 2021. Authorities with the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office said that they were investigating the incident and trying to determine what type of projectile was discharged exactly. No charges have been made since the incident, and Baldwin, who is both a star and producer for the film, cooperated with authorities. Baldwin even released a statement the day after the incident to let the public know how devastated he was, as well as the fact that he was fully cooperating with the police investigation and that he was in touch with the late cinematographer's family and husband. In 1993, Snoop Dogg and his bodyguard were charged with the murder of a rival gang member. Snoop was defended by attorney Johnny Cochran and was acquitted after years and years of court battles. In 1978, Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious fatally stabbed his girlfriend Nancy Spungen. When he was first questioned, he claimed to have found her dead on the bathroom floor of their hotel room, but he later admitted that he had stabbed her but didn't actually intend to kill her. Although he was charged with her murder, Vicious never actually stood trial as he died of a drug overdose while out on bail. In 2012, Smallville and Sons of Anarchy actor Johnny Lewis broke into the home of an 81-year-old woman called Catherine David, ransacked her home, and then killed her and her cat. He was never questioned as he actually fell or jumped from a roof and died straight after. It was later revealed that he had been born into a Scientologist family and worked for the church's drug rehab group, Narconon. Despite a history of drug abuse, though, the autopsy report showed that he actually had no drugs or alcohol in his system at the time of his death.
Reality glitches caught on camera.
Okay, so I just broke this plate, and I was making sure I had all the pieces, and I found this. What the hell? I have no more of these plates. I have only one. Wait, what?